today we've got a big working bee on the Sunny truck. Going to get the fuel tank in, and I need to do some brackets for the inlet manifold. So I'm going to pull all that back out, and I'll set it up on the bench on this head, on the A15 head, and get it sorted there. Of course, so what am I doing? Sizing up the intercooler kit for the front of the Cappuccino. I've noticed that, well, I'm just about to take all of this back off again so I can make some more brackets for it. And we'll do that on the 1500 head. But I had noticed that these screws around the outside here had gone a bit rusty because they are just a straight high tensile bolt. So I bought these to replace them with, and I was going to actually give them the black treatment, but I'm actually thinking they might look like, you know, just the head of them, add a little bit of bling to the, you know, because we've got some fairly bright, well, we haven't got a heap of bright stuff in here, but the strut brace is fairly, sorry, strut brace is fairly shiny, so I figure we'll just put them in as they are into there. Oh, these guys are zinc plated, 12.9 MPa, which is high tensile. Not that they actually need high tensile. I mean, they've got a cork gasket, so you don't like tighten it up to 1,000,000. Doesn't actually need it. Right, the manifold's all off. As you see, these were originally designed for the A15 head. Note the oval port. That's the A15 head, see? The oval port here. Now, in the process of pulling this off, you notice that because it's set up, this is the A12, you'll notice that it would have been sucking air on that corner there. So what we need to do is put the A15 gasket on, which will cover up that extra area there for the A12. You know, these are designed for the A15. But in the interest of making everything harder for myself, if you look up there, you'll see there's the A15 engine, and there's some bins, and there's a cardboard thing next to the black bins there, and that's where the A15 gasket is. So I either take the risky way but quicker way of getting yonder ladder and climbing way to bugger out there, then it's falling to my doom on my head on the concrete here, or I go and pick up the forklift from next door, drive it in here and pick that up. What's your choice?
But did you die?
Shannon's here again, as you can see. Yeah, say hello, Shannon.
Hello, Shannon.
I'll go and get the bloody forklift. Alrighty, so here's the A12 gasket laid over the top of the A15, and as you can see, it comes up quite a bit higher, and actually there's a gasket in between here on these, along these edges, so it actually fits quite a bit better. But if you notice there, you can see where on the A12 gasket it was missing, and on the A15 it will not be. So that's one we've got to use. The thing is, I've got two A12 gaskets and I've only got one A15, so when we eventually go to the A15 I might have to buy a new gasket. The only thing is, with the A15 it has this extra hole here, which I put in here because we made everything to fit this one. As you can see, there's an extra little hole in there which I've got a bolt in to work on this. The hole's not actually in here, so we'll have to get a wad punch and punch it out, but it just gives that little bit of extra clamp and I want to use it. Oh, how unprofessional. Alrighty, there's the whole setup back on the A15 head, back on the bench. I think we'll come up with some, we've got a little bit of a gap here, so I think we might be able to take that up, but basically these clamps are too wide, so as they come onto here they squeeze down and they just pull it off. So we're going to run 2 clamps there and there, but we're going to have to change these little brackets here to something else, because it's impeding the silicon from going all the way up. So I have to pull that off. What I was thinking I might do is drill this one all the way through, so we've got a thread on the bottom here, run a bracket maybe from there up to here, like that. Done a fair bit of work on the Sunny Truck today, and I'm at the point where it's all set up on the bench over there, and I need to have a bit of a think about it. So in the meantime, that intercooler kit is just calling to me. Hello again. Nothing to do with wheels this time, actually. I scored a little bit of stuff last weekend for the cabinet treasures and whatnot, and I got these in the form of right place, right time, that sort of stuff, and they're all very cool. You know, they're big friction powered from the 70s, Japanese and Korean. This one's Korean, as you can see, with the siren. This one is a little bit used, but very cool. And this one. Now this one wasn't working real flash when I first got it. It needed some lubrication. You can hear it wasn't working properly. It's working right now. Completely sparked and everything. Still needs a little bit anyway. So I got them home and I broke out the WD-40 and I sprayed it carefully inside the trigger guard here where I thought the flywheel was, so that sound was coming from. Here, just at the end there. I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Anyway, so I sprayed a little bit in there and it was a bit better. And it's actually quite good compared to how it was now. But sprayed it inside there and it was a bit better. So I sprayed it a bit more. It was a bit better again. So I gave it, I got everything that I could see in through that hole there. I gave it a good spray, WD-40 inside, and fiddling around with it and noticed the screw on top here. See that? So I undid that, and it was really loose. I just undid it with my fingers, and it fell out, and a couple of flints fell out with it too. So I thought, oh great, I can get the sparks going as well. I carefully reassemble. It's got a spring under it, and there's 2 flints in there. Put the spring back under. If you're a bit of a physicist, you've probably already figured where this is going. Put the flints back in and pushed it back in and tightened it up a bit and gave it a go, and there was no sparks. So I tightened it up a bit more and gave it a couple of goes. A couple of little sparks there. So I gave it another half a turn on the top there and tightened it up and gave it a good go, and it burst into flame. And my hand, like singed the hairs on the back of my hand here. So sometimes you just don't put 2 and 2 together, do you? Let's see, WD-40 flammable and a bunch of sparks in an enclosed area. Anyway, that's today's story. I'm going to set these up and stick them in the cabinet there, you know, just because they're damn cool. Look at them. Look at them. I like that one. This is supposed to have sparks as well. And this is supposed to have sparks as well. It's in really good condition. So I don't know what's happened to the sparks, but it certainly does this one with this little. This is my favourite now, because it's actually tried to kill me. Remember kids, guns are dangerous things. There you go, sorted.